Today on We'd Love to Camp, I'm going to install a poop tank carrier on the bumper. That way you don't have to have it in the back of your car, truck, SUV, whatever. And we're going to have to make some extra room on it. So we've got the outlet right over here for the harness, for the cable. Then we've got the grill over here. So I've only got that much room to work with. I think I can do it, but we'll see. So the first thing we have to do is take the spare tire off so I can move the rack over. Okay, this one takes a 13/16 socket. What do you guys think? You think this spare would be any good? Well, it's good for now. So what I'm doing here, just loosening the U-bolts so I can slide this over. Now I can only take this so far over because I still got to make room, leave enough room for the grill holder.
And as luck would have it, my microphone gave out right about here. So what I'm doing here is mounting the spare back on there, and I'm going to show you there's a way to cheat this, but we'll come to that in a minute. I can't decide if I want it on or off. Now when you're tightening down these U-bolts, yes, these ones, using an impact may not be the best idea, especially if you have no control. If you pinch the bumper tube too much, then the bumper will get crimped a little bit, and you'll have problems putting the slinky into the bumper. Looks like I need to repaint this one now. And since it's in the body shop, if they don't paint it, I probably will when it comes back. So let's go ahead and put this back up again. It's kind of a on and off type procedure. You know, measure twice, cut once. It was actually kind of amazing at how little bit of room I had on that huge bumper. Go and put the lug nut back on, and this system has two lug nuts. You got the one that actually goes through the lug hole like that one was. Yes, this one, the one I'm tightening up, and then there's one with a hold down that goes in the center. Now you see how I pivoted that off to the left, and now that the inner one is off balance, or excuse me, off center. Yes, that one. That's how you can cheat it a little bit. I had the mount off to the right a little bit too much, and so I rotated it a little bit to the left. And there you go. You can see how far it is. It's probably a good couple inches, but it's enough to matter. Go ahead and run that down on there, and it should be good to go. Make sure you check the air pressure on this once in a while. I'm not sure if that's what I was saying, but I like to think that's what I was saying. And pick some dirt out of the tread. So moving on to the actual product we have at hand here. This is the gray water tank holder. And this is the gray water tank. Yes, I call it a poop tank. Got a whole bunch of hardware in a bag here. And let me stop right here and ask you, if you've made it this far, go ahead and scroll over there and click on the like icon, the thumbs up, and let us know that you're enjoying the content. go ahead and leave some comments too, telling us that you like the content, with questions or advice. I'm not the end-all be-all when it comes to this, so if you've got advice for me, let me know. Okay, so the spare tire's in the way and you can't quite see it yet, but all it is a couple U-bolts. And you can see right here on this cutaway that all it is U-bolts on a plate, and it's gone already. It just wraps around the bumper and it holds the arms, which we'll see this again here in a minute. Actually, it'll be in a few minutes, but nonetheless. But you get under there and you just run it down, tighten it up, snug it up, don't tighten it. And again, just like with the spare tire, don't go torquing it down. You want to snug it up and then another couple of turns after snug, but you don't want to torque them down. Now once you get the first arm up on there, then you need to get your tank and pop it up on there so you can measure. Where do I need to put the next one? Now, I haven't noticed it yet, but if you look at the top, the tank is blocking the fire escape window. We'll come back to that later. But right now, all I'm doing is measuring and figuring out where to put the next tank holder arm. Not sure what I'm doing here. I think this was the point where I had to move everything over some more. Yes. So I ended up moving the grill holder, I ended up moving the wheel, and then that way I could get to have enough room on the bumper for the tank. This whole thing has been kind of trial and error, and quite a bit of error, to be honest. Seems like every time I think I'm good, I need to redo it again. But what I did here is I moved the grill over a little bit, and instead of holding it flat every time, I just left it halfway open, kind of sticking out a little bit. But that freed up probably a good 6 inches that I could move the wheel over. And here we go, taking off the wheel again. I think that's what I'm doing here. Yes. Maybe. But you can see there that there's just not enough room for the tank to go there. Yes, it's going to stick out clear to here, but the cord's in the way. So now I've got to move all of this over. So again, of course, it's just the same thing over and over. There, did you see how much that wheel moved over? Now the reality is I could just roll the wheel over that much further to the right without moving the holder. And I can't remember if I did that or not. All of this was done like in early June, but since I lost audio, I wasn't too crazy about putting it up. I don't like this voiceover stuff. I don't even know what I was saying to the camera there. But yeah, I went ahead and obviously I'm moving the whole thing over. Probably would have been quicker and easy just to scoot the tire over, rotate the tire like I was just talking about. But I'm not sure why I did this. There we go, loosen up the nuts, slide it over. Not sure exactly how much room is needed on there, but we'll figure it out here shortly. Put it on, look at it all again, measure it with this since I don't know where my tape measure is. And that looks pretty decent. It's easier than stopping and finding out where my tape measure is. Now later on when I don't need it, I'm going to come across like 4 or 5 of them inside the camper all at once. Probably all in the same spot. Until then, we'll just do it like this. You can see I'm loosening that up, getting ready to move it over. Now, back in the day when we had our old travel trailer, this Summerland, the Springdale, we didn't have an enclosed belly, and as you see here, I was able to strap the tank up underneath. And this was great. So even though we used full hookups usually, I always had it with me. Always. So now we're back over here, putting up the wheel. Slowly. There we go. My back was hurting. Cut me some slack. And of course, yeah, there we go. Zip zap. And we skipped over putting on the tab, but there we go. The wheel's done. How many of you have one of these tire covers that has some kind of a stupid thing on there? Life is better at the campsite. Maybe it's just me. Although I guess it is better than UV damage or advertising for Keystone. So now that I've got this moved over, well, I guess I'm going to stand back and look at it. And look at it some more, I guess. What am I doing? Looking for my keys? Okay, I don't know. Yeah. So I've got to move that over since I moved the wheel over. The spare wheel. And now we move over to the other side. Now I want to point out, you see I'm putting the brackets, the holder, above the bumper. There's nothing wrong with that. It works fine in some applications. We'll come back to this later though. So you see how easy this actually is. You've got a plate that goes on the other side of the bumper from the brackets, from the holder. And then you've got two U-bolts. Yeah, look at that. See how easy that is? It is literally just strapped on there with those U-bolts. You can adjust it, slide it in or out depending on the size of your tank. And here's about where I realize I can't have it sitting on top of the bumper. I have a very large tote. And remember earlier when I mentioned that the fire exit was right above there? And now you can see the shadow where the boy is opening up the window. Yeah. I had to make sure there was enough clearance. So there we go. I skipped over a couple seconds. Got the one on the left figured out. Now I'm doing the one on the right. Now watch this. This is neat. See how I'm cheating here? And just slide it through. That's a whole lot easier than trying to assemble it all one piece at a time. Now, like I was saying earlier, you don't want to use the impact. No zip zap. You want to use a wrench. I would even say don't use a ratchet. Ratcheting wrench is okay. You tend to put more torque on a ratchet than you would on an open-end wrench or on a ratcheting wrench. I don't know how much of that's because of leverage and how much of that's just mental. You see, I'm actually just using a 6-inch crescent wrench. You can't put much torque on that. And that is clean water that's dripping out of there. Don't get all panicky. Now, I do need to adjust this a little bit. You see how tight it was going down the wall. Excuse me. And you see the wheels are actually sitting on top of the bumper. So it's actually still sitting up kind of high. So later on off camera, I did readjust it. I pulled the arms out just a little bit more, and then there was room for it to drop down all the way. Now, as you're running this strap, you got to remember to run the strap through the handle, if that's the only way you have to secure the handle. Otherwise, it's going to be flapping around and somebody's going to get smacked in the nose or something. Who knows? But I mean, it really is this simple. Just bolt that onto the bumper, find a place, make sure it all fits, bolt it down, wrap the straps on there, snug them up, and then go have a beverage of choice. There it is. And now test. See, I was pushing it down there. All right, come on, boy. Open up the window. And there we go. Test fire. Plus, it actually kind of gives him something to grab when he jumps out of there. There we go. Got the thumbs up from him. So it is golden. The large totes are a real pain to handle and to have, but they are great when it comes time to use them. So here we go to finish up the episode. And again, I'm not sure what I was saying here. I really don't. It was something probably along the lines of click like and subscribe and the bell icon. And then I was probably closing it out with, we don't see you at the campground, we'll see you in the comments.